America is having a lot of trouble with all of these refugee people coming up from the south, and they don't know what to do with them. They're mainly from poor, uneducated, dumbed down Catholic backgrounds or communist from a number of different countries. But what I would suggest is I would ban Catholic churches, and I would ban idolatry in America. That way, any of the refugees coming up, they're clearly not proper Catholics. Therefore, I would advocate America using its influence to gain a foothold in Africa, similar to the Commonwealth, and send a lot of those people there. And once those people get there, America now has a foothold in the communist, China-dominated Catholic Africa, and it also has a cheap labour force, but not in the sense of really cheap labour, because if you send them down there and you give them all a small amount of American dollars every day or every week as a sort of a benefit, and the cheap building materials, they'll be grateful to America. They'll also spread American values to Africa. The African countries have absolutely cannot in any way, shape or form complain about the influx of a race of people into the subcontinent or into the African continent, because every nation on the earth, in particular America, has taken African Americans. Granted that when it was a colonial colony, a lot of them were slaves, but there's still a lot of Africans going all over. There's loads of Africans here in Ireland. You just have to go to what's it called up the road? It's basically an African town now. It's it's out by the sea there anyway. But that's what I would do. I would start to export the African or the South Americans into small camps, and that way, if a war does break out, I'd put them in school, and I'd basically school them in the American way. And that way, if a war does break out in Africa at any point with communists or stuff like that, they have they're a hard people. Donald Trump even said it himself, these people are tough. Well, use that to your advantage. These people, they don't want to go back to where they came from. You can put them into small places over $1. Most people in Africa only earn $1 a week or something, or less than $1 a day. If America can divert these people, who they're going to be spending fortunes on feeding, if they can divert them to a couple of African countries and give them a couple of American dollars a week and educate them and probably conscript a lot of them into the army, you know, they'll have millions and millions of ready soldiers, because they're outgunned by China in the millions. So basically that's a way out of that problem. It solves two problems. It helps the refugees who are not wanted in America by the majority of the people. They'd be wanted down in Africa if they bring dollars with them, because down in Africa there's a lot of poverty, and they will be like first class rich. They will be rich compared to the Africans that are down there. So they're not actually, if they put a bit of hard work into a new town or a new village, they can live like kings. And that's the gift America can give to them. But most of the people that come up to America from those countries will want to be able to worship in a pagan Catholic church, you know. Because when Quetzalcoatl returned to the Aztecs, when Juan Cortez returned, he came with a new religion, but it wasn't the true faith. So Quetzalcoatl is the feathered serpent. He returned, and all they done was basically they put new temples on top of the old ones. So basically all the Mexico City and places like that, they're just giant pagan temples. Big massive pagan idolatrous temples where they venerate stonework. They put a bit of paint on it and call it Virgin Mary's and Queens of Heaven, called statues Jesus Christ and stuff like that. venerate saints and stuff. So this is back in the 900s, the Maya just disappeared. There's pictures of someone called Quetzalcoatl eating them. Well, lots of the Maya disappeared from the cities, and there's pictures of an entity that the god called Quetzalcoatl eating them. So I'd say Quetzalcoatl's going to have a munch again, and by the looks of things, if what happened to the Maya and pagan temples is anything to go by, there's a lot of Catholic pagan temples in America, and Jesus says if those days were not shortened, but for the elect few, there would be no flesh left upon the earth. So I think it's about time that some other races get exported to Africa, because there's a lot of Africans getting exported everywhere else, and it's the most sparsely populated continent on the face of the firmament. So that would be the way over. It has to be, because there's no way America is going to take all those refugees, but Africa can take them. Although it may cause a few problems, it's going to bring in the dollar. The dollar is needed down there. It could bring in a lot of wealth, and it could bring in a lot of industry. America can start building companies down there, using this labour force. Who's only going to be throwing stones and rioting and gangbanging in America, when it could be put to work down in Africa.